Well, good morning. This is Michael Douville coming to you from beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Tave and I are in the incredibly high-tech studios of West USA, and this is another Creating Real Estate Wealth webinar. And it's my privilege to come to you. West USA is allowing me to use this platform to give back to the industry that has been so good to my family and I. As you may know, I'm the author of How to Create a Real Estate Money Machine and Retire with Income. It is my pleasure to help you create your own money machine and build wealth and income that's going to last you and your spouse and your kids and your grandkids for decades, literally for generations, right here in Maricopa County or wherever you may have. We've got three really great markets across the United States. These are all going to do really, really well. And today we're going to talk about a financial topic. We're going to talk about living well to 100. Now, this is one of my favorite and probably most important topics. Really goes to the whole crux to why we are doing this. And we're going to talk about that. This is going to take about 18 to 20 minutes to get this done, depending on how wound up I get when I start talking about this, because this is one of my favorite topics. Next week, we're going to talk about usable income prior to retirement. That's going to be really, really good too, because oftentimes we have retirement plans that are good only when you turn a certain age. 59 and a half years old for most of your IRAs and qualified plans. Certainly in your mid 50s, I think a Keogh account, I think is 55, but you have to be, a certain age. And you know that retirement is not an age, it is a financial decision. And that's what we're here to do, is to help you make a financial decision to make your life so terribly good and just make it wonderful, because this is the real estate industry. We can do all kinds of things. We can really help people to better their lives. So here's today's topic. So living well to 100, how to retire with wealth. Doesn't everybody want to do that, retire with wealth? How has the advance in medicine changed the investment horizon for retirees? Isn't that a terrific question? How does inflation jeopardize your retirement income over time? How does investing in residential rentals enhance your retirement plans? Now, just think about that. How does having rentals enhance that retirement plans from you? Because they keep getting better and better and better. How does growing rental income become financial freedom to a working investor? And would an investor approaching retirement or in retirement benefit from purchasing rental properties? Now, that's a lot of topics. I'm going to try and get that done within 18 to 20 minutes. If you have any kind of questions, Tatum is monitoring this. If you look on your screen, you're going to see in the upper right-hand corner, there's a spot that you can type in your questions. If we get a chance, we'll certainly answer them if we get a chance to do so. If not, keep in mind we have a Saturday podcast. If you type in Realty, West USA Realty podcast, it'll come up on the internet, and you get a couple of choices as to where you want to go to listen to it. But we often answer questions that we get during the week to answer them on the podcast on Saturday. So it just gives us some other topics. So let's move right on. Living well to 100. How does the advances in medicine change the investment horizon for retirees? That is the whole crux of what we're doing. It used to be that people thought they would live to be in their 60s. Maybe they were old at 70s. 70 is the new 50 these days, because we've had all these medical advances. We've got hips and heart valves, and we've got new knees, and we've got all kinds of stem cell. We're living better and longer than our parents ever dreamed they would. The average life expectancy is somewhere in the 80s. And, women are so much stronger than men. They could easily live into their hundreds. So if you're retiring in your 60s, well, you might have 40 years of retirement. How fun would that be to have 40 years to do basically nothing but have fun? In the 1930s, when Social Security first came out, the average life expectancy for men was 58 and 62 for women. The average age for Social Security retirement was 65. So the Social Security was really set up as a losing game. because they never really expected anybody to live long enough to collect from Social Security. And of course, we fooled them all. We're all growing older and older and better. Average life expectancy today is 76 for men. I think if you live to be into your 60s without any major health issues, that you can reasonably expect to live into your mid to late 80s, and women really into their 90s and possibly into the hundreds. And this is why sometimes you should come in and talk with us. You know, the average person just can't wait to start to collect from their Social Security at 62. But 62, sometimes you're better off waiting to at least 65, because most of us, or 66, I think baby boomers, you know, we have a graduated full retirement age. Mine was like 66 and a half before you get your full retirement. 65 is when you get Medicare. But you might want to sit down and really talk to your financial advisor and see what age is really going to be best for you, because the longer you wait with your Social Security, the more money that you're going to get. And you're probably going to need this income for decades. That's what we're here to do. We're here to produce income that's going to last for decades and grow. What else do we know as we get to be a baby boomer? We have seen a lot of stuff when we're going through life, and we know that inflation is here with us. Now, I grew up in the 70s. This is when I got into the real estate business, and inflation was running 13, 14, 15%. You know, prices were going crazy in the 70s, and things have really, really changed since then. We've been talking about benign inflation since 2000. I think we've had inflation. I don't think we've had 1 year that's gone over 3% since 2000, oftentimes even sub 2%. And they've been running like 2.5%, 2.75%. But inflation is absolutely insidious, and it's consistent. So over the 20 years, from 2000 to 2020, a 20-year period with benign inflation, we've lost over 50% purchasing power. So if you retired at 62 years old in 2000, and you had $60,000 a year income coming in, you were probably feeling pretty good about yourself. 20 years later, that $60,000 income only purchases $30,000 income purchasing power. So your lifestyle would have decreased by 50%. Now, what if you live another 20 years? That means that $60,000 income went to 30 and it's going to go to 15. So how would you like to be 95 years old and have a $10,000 a year income? You're sick, you're old. Who wants that? We have to make sure that you are protected for 30 or 40 years of fun. We want this to get better and better and better. So we have a strategy. The strategy allows for current benefits that are going to continue to grow. So if you'd retired at 2000 with a portfolio of rentals, just think what has happened to those properties since 2000. In 20 years, you retired at 60 years old in the year 2000. You had a 10 property portfolio. What has happened to those properties in the last 20 years? They probably doubled in price, probably doubled in rental income. And instead of having a $60,000 net income, you got $120,000. And your lifestyle has increased. It's gotten better. And of course, when we put these properties together, we put a retirement, when we put a portfolio together, that retirement is a financial decision. Maybe you want to semi-retire when you're 35 or 40 years old. And this is just going to grow and grow and grow. And of course, if you hold your properties outside a qualified plan, you don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half years old to start enjoying the money. So how does this growing rental bring financial freedom to a working investor? Well, if you have a career for your job, maybe you're a doctor or an attorney, or you own a couple of shops, or you own a plumbing supply company, or you're a contractor, and you have a business that's coming in, and you are investing outside of your retirement account, well, you start putting a portfolio together, and maybe you have 20 years retirement where you're allowing that external retirement plan your portfolio to season and grow, and just keeps growing and growing. If you were in 2000 and it's grown for 20 years, look at the income that that is generating. So if you were still working while your portfolio is seasoning, you could have an incredibly strong income for yourself. And it could get to the point where you're going to have more income from your rentals than you do from your business. That's when you know you have arrived and you can do whatever you want. When your income is more than your W-2 or your 1099 income, you're getting it from your rentals, that is when you have financial freedom. And of course, you remember that we have the doctrine of enough. Now, oftentimes we work for a reason. We work to make income so we can provide for our family, for our kids, for our parents, for our community. But once you get enough, you have enough. That is called the doctrine of enough. And you can go enjoy your life, go do some fun things, go do whatever floats your boat, go enjoy yourself. So next question, would an investor approaching retirement or in retirement benefit from purchasing rentals? Well, of course. Let's just think about this. I hear this all the time. I have people that are coming to me, they're in their 60s, and they say, oh, I don't want to buy any rentals because I'm 60 or I'm 70 years old. Well, would you go out and buy a bond? Would you go out and buy an annuity? Because that's all these properties do. You're an investor. So you're not interacting with the tenant. You're not out working with them. We always tell you to get a property manager. You're strictly the investor. And strictly as the investor, that means that you get to keep the income, but you don't have the problems of cleaning a property. You're just strictly the investor, not the landlord. And this goes into your portfolio. And if you have 5 or 6 or 7, that gives you an inflation hedge. So you have a growing asset that throws off cash flow each and every month, not quarterly, not semi-annually, not annually, monthly cash flow that you can use each and every month. And annually, it's probably going to increase. So at any age, you should have this compelling investment into your investment portfolio. Now, I'm not telling you at 75 years old that you want to be a landlord. Now, maybe you do. Maybe you think this is a wonderful thing. Maybe you want to become a Airbnb or a VRBO and you want to go into vacation rentals. Maybe you want to have a B&B. That's fine. That's kind of going into the hospitality industry, using real estate to do that. But maybe this is something that you want to drive your train. But if you want passive income, you can just put your properties in the hands of a very competent property manager. It's a deduction. It's income tax related. And they can do all the work and send you a check anywhere in the world. Now, when you're working with a good property manager and a good real estate investment advisor, they're going to tell you that not all homes are good rentals. Now, they'll all rent. I haven't ever had a house that we couldn't rent. I mean, it just never happened that we couldn't rent a house. But there are homes that are better for rentals. And a good investment advisor is going to be able to help you to tell you which properties are best for your portfolio, where you're going to get your best growth potential, where are you going to get your best rental potential, because we want to grow these properties. We want that income each and every year to grow and grow and grow and grow. And we want your life to get better and better and better and better. So cash flowing real estate is such a compelling investment for all ages. This is just something that everyone should have into their portfolio. Now, I'm not telling you that you should sell your Amazon or you should sell your Apple, that you should close out your entire stock and bond portfolio, but you probably should talk to your investment advisor to find out how real estate would fit into your portfolio and just review some of the compelling features. And you're always welcome to call us here. We're more than happy to work with your financial advisor, with your tax consultant, with your accountant, with your spouse, certainly, and go over what's good for you, and we'll find out if it's good or not. Most of the time here in major markets, you're going to find that it is very, very good for you to have into your portfolio. And here's one of the most important things I'm going to reiterate to you. For the first time in probably 15 years, I'm actually seeing inflation in the pipeline. Now, we have been very, very benign, right around 2%, but I'm actually seeing some inflation coming into the pipeline. Haven't seen this for years and years and years. If you have a bond portfolio, this is very, very hard on a bond portfolio. So talk to your advisor and see how you can maintain your purchasing power in an inflationary environment by buying real estate, because real estate is probably one of the greatest inflation hedges that you can get. They maintain their value, and they generally track inflation. In the organic growth markets like Florida, Texas, and Arizona, they'll track above inflation. And of course, they'll track inflation on the rentals as well and maintain purchasing power for decades, literally for decades. And you can have fun. You can go have a worry-free existence. You'll always get income coming in each and every month. It's just a wonderful, compelling investment for you. Now, next week, how can we have usable income prior to retirement? What a great topic. We kind of touched on that a little bit today, is that most of the time our qualified retirements have age restrictions to them. So you can't really touch that money without taking a pretty sizable penalty for it until you're 58 or 59 and a half years old. I think qualifies most. I think there's some circumstances with some retirement to be 55. There's some mitigating circumstances, but for the most part, you have to be up around 60 years old. Doesn't help you if you want to retire at 40. So we want to be able to build a nice income machine for you outside of your qualified plans. And this is easily what we can do. It becomes a very, very usable income source for yourself and a usable income stream prior to retirement. We're going to talk a little bit more about that next week. That's going to be kind of a pretty long topic. It's one of our more compelling reasons that we want to do this, is that we want you to have financial freedom. We want you to get out of debt. We want your house free and clear. We want your cars paid off. We want you to have reserves. This is what West USA, keep in mind, West USA is the 15th largest company in real estate business in the United States, and they are concerned about you. They want you to have a terrific life, to get out of debt, have reserves, have income coming in, and build a nice retirement for yourself. And that's my function here. If you want to talk to me during the week, I'm always available too. So if you would like to get this flyer, now we put this flyer together, you're welcome to email to creatingwealth@westusa.com. If you'd like to register for any of our seminars coming up, you can talk to me at creatingwealth@westusa.com. Tatum is going to make the video available through YouTube and should have that up on YouTube later today. You're welcome to look at that. If you want to reach me, you can reach me at Creating Wealth at West USA. If you want to talk directly to me, you're welcome to call to the corporate 602-942-4200 or michael@michaeldeville.com. If you'd like to set a time where you want to come in, or you and your spouse, you're welcome to come in, and we can kind of brainstorm where you are with your portfolio. If you have some ideas or you'd like to discuss some things, you're welcome to do that. We'll set it's a free appointment for you, so you're welcome to do that. So I'm going to tell you, it's been my privilege to talk with you. If you have any questions, please send it to email at creatingwealth@westusa.com. My very best to you. Bye-bye now.